Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I am tuning in from a different spot in my office. So I'm wearing my mic. I had to do a mic check and I believe it works. So welcome, everybody. Today, in our daily natural health news show, we're going to talk about natural resources, remedies, herbals, botanicals. I've got a whole catalog of items right in front of me in the event that you were to catch the virus, because the odds are 40 to 70% of you might come into contact, have transmission, and might be asymptomatic or symptomatic, but in a milder form. So I want to equip each and every one of you with resources this morning. Welcome YouTube, welcome Instagram. Let me know, give me a thumbs up that you can hear me and like the video. And for YouTube, please like and share. And if you are new, welcome. I hope you'll join our community, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, what country, because we have a very large international community and I'm always honored to have you join me. So today I want to really dig into how to equip you and your arsenal of resources at home in the event that you end up having a viral invasion. And because of YouTube and the censorship, I'm not going to name names, but you know what virus we are dealing with globally. So that's what we're going to be addressing. And you can't really see it. I think you might be able to, actually, all of you. So this is my little arsenal that I've put together. So I call it my war chest. I usually have it over there underneath my filming desk. And I've brought it over here and I've pulled out some of my key resources that I'm going to share with you today. So for the YouTubers that are on the description box, I tried to pull as many links. Many are on Amazon. Some of these items we actually only sell in our store, our online store, which is we're shipping daily to individuals, and some of the items they're coming in and out, but we are constantly supporting our stock. So hello, good morning. We've got Jana from upstate South Carolina and Pat, and my camera's set up a little bit differently. So I'm gonna be looking over this way to share our chats. But today we, just the numbers are on the incline. Nothing's changed. We still are void of test kits. We still have communities that are not hunkering down. We still have governors and local officials who aren't considering clamping things down in terms of limiting social exposure. And I just want to share with you an interesting statistic, and I'll grab the link after this wraps. But there is a vendor, this is not the specific vendor, but there's a vendor here in the US that has these digital thermometers, and they transmit the temperatures that are being taken all over the world. But they're based here in the US. And what they started to do is they're starting to use the temperature readings as epidemiological studies to identify where cold and flu and the major virus is, where it's coming. And they're starting to share this data with the CDC and other parties so that people can, the hospitals and the officials can be equipped and armed and dangerous. I think this is really fascinating because what they are showing where things are lighting up is Florida. And, I'm a Floridian. I grew up there. And the US right now comprises 40% of all of the cases of this virus. We, as of this morning, we had 55,330 individuals who have tested positive. That is up. So from yesterday, that is up from 44. So we've seen almost, it's 11,000 more cases. And we're going to see the incline. New York is definitely rocked. So what we want to do is limit that type of exposure to any other communities. And we already know Florida with spring break and that population, that's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing a greater influx in that area, which leads me to today's topic, which is what do you take? Because there is no vaccine. There is no medication that's approved. They're in the very early stages. And despite what is being told in some of these press conferences, some of the medications are not yet even in the phase of testing fully in a certain population of humans. And I just read yesterday that there was a couple over the weekend that thought they had what was being touted as like the end all be all cure. It was some sort of chemical that they use in their koi pond. And the man and woman took it and he died, and she ended up having a whole bunch of respiratory damage. So it is really, really crazy that, we are challenged as humans to support our bodies and minimize this viral infection. The transmission still, we don't know a whole lot. I reported yesterday, the assessment of those cruise ships that had the people on it. They were seeing that the virus is alive still 17 days after these people left, that the surfaces, when they petri dished the surfaces, did swabs and assessed, the virus still lives on. So let's just advance that, mail packages, groceries, shopping carts, door handles, counters. I mean, all of our everyday use and things we come in contact with, we might be seeing that. And that could very well be one of the reasons why we're seeing such a spread. Good morning, Christine York's up in Buffalo. We've got Whitney and Cape Canaveral. So Whitney, we actually this morning, Gabriel's really into rocket ships, and I queued up on YouTube, up in the little movie room we've turned into his classroom. On the big screen, we watched the SpaceX launch from the 18th, and he is like totally hooked on it. So really excited. At some point, we want to take him down there to see a real launch. Okay, good morning, everybody. So I really don't have a whole lot of additional news, nothing kind of extremely noteworthy. Like yesterday, we had a lot of kind of impactful information, but let's dig right on into the topic at hand, which is what resources, what herbals, botanicals, homeopathics can you equip yourselves with, create like this little war chest that I have over here, that you could have and that you could utilize to support your immune system, to minimize the severity of the symptoms. Oh, you know what? This is actually a jacket. So thank you. I got this from Kohl's. I had somebody who commented she liked my robe. This is actually a jacket. It's very comfy. So the goal here is to share with you what I would use, and what if Brian had it or Gabriel had it, or any of my patients. At this point, I don't have anybody in the practice that has had any test positive. I've had a lot of commentary from folks thinking that they have it, and this is kind of what I'm putting together. So it's basically my naturopathic protocol. Many of these items I would use for common cold and flu symptoms. I would use these for immune boosting, immune modulation. I would use these for symptoms of sinus and respiratory. In this virus, this is going to be the milder symptoms. The urgency of this virus when it moves into, if you're 16 or 18% of the population, where it becomes really severe, it's that cough that takes your breath away, that you can't get a breath. And then if you're coughing blood, that we need to go beyond these things. Like, you've got to get to the ER. And there is urgency in also communicating to your doctors when things get really bad. So, if you find that maybe you're having, like I have, allergies right now, some of these items will be helpful for dealing with that, to offset those symptoms. But most importantly, the minor aches and pains, the headache, sometimes the fever that's accompanying it. The fever is an immune response. So we don't always necessarily want to lower it, because that's the immune response doing what it needs to do and charging up your immune system. But for a lot of our autoimmune candidates or folks with those conditions, we want to minimize the extent of that fever overwhelming the immunity or the immune system, and then having additional kind of body attack. That's where we've seen folks go into sepsis, which is just a full body organ failure and shutdown, and deep infection. So this is a huge arsenal. Take what you want with it. Instagrammers, it's on YouTube. So I've got a catalog. What I'll try and do today, it's actually one of the first nicer days out. And our neighborhood, I'm so excited. We have some really cool moms and a lot of kids. Our neighborhood, we are doing a safari hunt. So we're turning our front yards into a safari parks. So we're all going to be dragging our stuffed animals that are zoo animals. And Brian's really into this. So he's like, let's make a zoo, because I happen to have bought and purchased Gabriel pretty much every animal, stuffed animal from our zoo, and that are zoo animals. So we have like snow leopards and panthers and monkeys. And so we're going to be having fun. I'll be sharing pictures of that on Instagram. And if Heather's watching, she's one of our core organizers. I'm so grateful, because it's something fun for us parents too. So my promise to you is that I'll try and put this together in a downloadable free guide that you can grab. I will tell you, for all of you on YouTube, if you're liking this content, really excited, please give me a thumbs up and share. The thumbs up totally supports my efforts here. YouTube has censorship around content in the viral vein. So anything related to the virus, they are limiting exposure. They're not pushing it out. They're demonetizing it. So the links in the description box, they're affiliate links, and they really do support our channel, because like Amazon gives us a certain percentage commission of sales. And, my goal is not by any means, that's not paying our bills, but it does support our time together. So let's dig into, I've got these kind of categorized. So I want to dig into just globally in the event that you're starting to feel kind of your immune system getting run down. There's a course of kind of 4 things that I would recommend that we kind of look at. The first one is, and these, what I've done, I've also assessed I have a lot of you who write to me, you have Hashimoto's, RA, MS, you've got lupus, an assortment of autoimmune components. And so one of the things that I recommend for anybody to boost their immune system is an herb. This is an Herb Farm liquid herbal. We actually are selling this in our clinic store. So grab that. It ships to 2 states or where we have our warehouses. Astragalus. This is an extremely powerful immune boosting, immune modulating herb that can help support your immune system's acknowledgement and identification of the virus. And we are learning more about the viral DNA, but essentially the virus is this round little bubble. It's got these like little funky like sucker things. But then how it works is it functions like a mosquito. It actually has these stingers, and the stingers will latch onto, say you inhale the virus, it attaches to your mucous membrane in your sinuses or your mouth or, your eye, and it literally stings. So it literally kind of digs into your mucous membrane, your tissue, and through this stinger, it transplants its DNA, and then you're infected. So that's the host transfer. And what we want to do is, as soon as that stinger happens, or there's acknowledgement in the immune system that the virus is in the body, you want your immune system to go to those areas and you want it to be on alert. And so astragalus turns on the immune like red alert system. Okay. Are the alcohol-based astragalus okay to take? Yes, absolutely. So some of these are going to be in alcohol, like this is in a cane alcohol. There are astragalus tablets as well, but some of the botanicals, I love the liquid. You don't need a whole lot. It is pretty herbally intense. And like I mix it up with a juice. Usually we do have, green juices, and I'll just throw it down the hatch. So this is very powerful. Another thing that I love, and I talk a lot about this, is the super lysine. This is an immune support. I kind of go closer on that. I've got a different setup here with some lights. So super lysine immune support. I've talked a lot about this. I use this all the time. This is very powerful because it has garlic, it has echinacea, it has propolis. So bee propolis, that's really powerful. That's a manufactured byproduct of bees. So not vegan friendly by any means. It has L-lysine, which is an amino acid that helps also support your immune response. And L-lysine is one of these hidden heroes in the world of amino acids, where it does really support the body against viral invasion. So we use L-lysine like in any of the herpes, like shingles, the herpes simplex, and even some of the pox viruses. Lysine can be very powerful at helping your body go through the phases much faster. And then garlic, we know garlic's very immune supportive. It does have licorice. The one thing and the warning of it, It's only 15 milligrams. It's not a potent form of it, but if you do have high blood pressure, you have to be aware of the licorice. Licorice can increase high blood pressure. And thanks everybody for all your YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, share this video, appreciate it. This is something that has been more recent that we've added into our diet. I have a recipe, a free download that I made the other day called Mommy Cookies. These are like, it's my dairy-free, gluten-free cookies that Gabriel adores. And basically I put everything in it. I've been putting this powder in it, and it's Immune Shine. It's a powder, and it's basically mushroom blend. So it has maitake, it has chaga, elderberry, and ginger. And this is a really powerful immune booster. Ginger in this catalog, sorry, I'm shaking the table, but ginger is going to be one of these things that is a very good kind of astringent and clearer of sinus congestion. So in the event that you do have the virus or think you have it or have any type of cold or flu symptoms, the thing we need to eradicate is the degree of mucus being produced in your body. So you want to make sure when you're eating foods that you eliminate dairy first and foremost. And then as you eliminate dairy, the next thing you want to introduce is ginger. Ginger is very good at clearing the sinuses. Same with turmeric, but ginger particularly is very potent at moving mucus. And this moves mucus throughout the body, and it also is a very powerful lymph motivator. So the lymphatic system is something that is connected to your immune system. Tomorrow, our video in the morning, we're going to talk a lot about your lymphatic system and why it's important to motivate it, to take care of it, and its role in helping you combat this virus. So this Immune Shine, we put this in a beverage. I don't think it would go well in a coffee, but you could do this potentially in a tea or a juice and smoothies for sure. But it has, chaga is powerful. That's an adaptogenic herb. It helps balance stress. It also is very potent in its immune boosting and immune modulating. It has the maitake mushroom, which is also an immune modulator. I love that particularly. There are a lot of other mushroom blends that I have talked about, but I think that is one of the most potent versions. Also because it has ginger, I like that combination. Again, YouTube, there's a link down below in the description if you want to grab that. Numb is another brand that I'm adding into the mix. This is electrolyte enhancing, and it also has some immunity boosting things like it has ginger, it has turmeric. Let's see what else. It has echinacea. I swear I need readers. I think when I hit 41, like my eyesight's going bad. It has magnesium, selenium. It also has zinc. And there's a whole bunch of other things that it has, but it's very powerful at balancing and supporting your immune system. So Numb, this comes in this little, it's a tab. It's an effervescent tab. So this is one of those things where you want to make sure you're hydrating. So anytime we're going to have an immune response, hydration more than normal is crucial because your body is undergoing a war. And, we're hearing that term used loosely, but the reality is you do have an immune war going on. So you have an invader coming into your body, your immune system sees it and it goes into attack mode. That's what we call a war, an immune war. And what happens is you need extra hydration. You need extra electrolytes. You need extra fluid to help flush out. So your body's going to create mucus. That's the stuff that's trying to get rid of its byproduct, white blood cells, all of the kind of byproduct of the fight. You need to get excess of hydration to get that out. So, it's not uncommon you're going to be blowing your nose and hacking stuff up. And that is all part of the immune response. And it's also the implantation of that virus. So we know that the particular DNA of this virus in that stinger, it mutates and grows itself, but it also attacks certain cells. And for whatever reason, this particular virus really is very challenging to the bronchial and lung tissue. And it actually we see CT scans, it changes the cellular tissue and makeup. So Numb is really key. Now I want to go into symptoms because again, we're challenged with, we have nothing on the market per se that's aimed at addressing this particular novel virus. But we do have things, we do have resources, we have homeopathy, we have botanicals. I personally love to use homeopathics in conjunction with botanicals to address symptoms. And in this case, these are going to be what would be kind of the milder symptoms. Again, if you start to feel, wheezing, you hear rattling, you're coughing blood up, or you can't breathe, your oxygen levels are decreased, you need to seek medical assistance immediately. And don't get to that stage. If you're feeling it, and listen to your body. We are equipped as humans with an internal language and a sense. We have a sixth sense about our health and wellness. Everybody who has either been tested or, not tested, but assumed positive, they all have a sense something's wrong. Listen to that voice more now than ever, okay? Because in some of the cases, odds are 16 to 18% of you, it might be life-changing, and it could very well be a life-threatening situation. So don't delay on taking action. Don't feel bad. Nobody's judging you. Your life is valuable. And I want you to be reassured that, at the end of the day, the medical professionals are there to help you. And we want you to do the right thing and seek attention. Okay. You just have to let them know, like they're asking if you call 911 because you need an ambulance, let them know you think it is for this situation so that the first responders can wear protective personal equipment. Dale, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, so Dale has a question. He gave us a super chat of $5. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tell us about kefir and mucus control. And what about black seed oil? Okay, so I can't speak about that. Apparently, it is a censored topic, the oil, on YouTube. But I can tell you that kefir, this is one of these things where in the event that you're starting to feel symptoms occur, I pull all dairy. Traditionally, I am okay with normal dairy. That would be like your goat milk, or I definitely prefer a nut-based milk like my oat milk or your cashew milk kefir. But if it were a dairy-based kefir, I would pull that. I do think it is healthy to look at nut-based kefir, like they have coconut kefir. There are probiotics in that are gut supportive. But at the end of the day, kefir that is dairy-based will produce more mucus, any type of dairy-based product. And this is something where you have to read your labels, because there are milk-based proteins in your protein shakes, your protein powders. So just be cognizant of that, because it's not always just like pouring up a glass of milk and drinking it. This dairy gets into our day-to-day lives. Grass-fed butter, Becky's question, that is totally okay. That's in a different state. I also like ghee, Ghee. I think that's fantastic. And Shell Garcia, is high blood pressure a risk issue with coronavirus? Yes, it totally is. All right, so we have somebody here. Is it Felicia? They swabbed his nose. Whose nose? Oh, your husband. Oh my goodness. Okay, keep us tested. All right, so we've got a viewer whose husband thinks he has symptoms. So these for sure would be resourceful. Remember how I talked a little bit initially about like the Gaia, the immune, and also the nun. Okay, the other thing you'd want to have on hand that is live food would be ginger root, turmeric root, and limes and lemons. And I would be adding those properties in boiled water, and I'd be adding them to some of the tea that I'm going to recommend. Those will also get the mucus moving. Turmeric and ginger are also going to be good for the lymphatic system, but they're also powerful at supporting the digestive process. So we do know 48% of the really intense cases that get hospitalized, there's an onset of digestive grievance. So diarrhea, lower GI, bloating and cramping. So that's really big. Okay, so going back to some of the symptom relief, there are these are the same essentially, but 2 different versions. I am a huge fan of UMCA. Are you guys familiar with MCA? I've mentioned this before in some of my video content, but this is like our go-to. If there's any event in our household that we've got any type of ick coming on, this is what I reach for. This is a chew tab. It looks just like that. It's chewable. It's actually a really nice flavor. It has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has seven homeopathics in here. And these are the fast actives. You can just throw these on your tongue. This is a great thing for us with Gabriel. So Gabriel's now at the age where I can get in some things on his tongue. But MCA is great. So again, YouTube, these links are in the description box below. You can grab these on Amazon. Again, those links do support our channel, but please do consider getting these into your arsenal because they will offset symptoms like fever, minor aches and pains, congestion, runny nose, sore throat, cough. A lot of these are your normal cold and flu issues. Yes, there's no sort of contraindications on this. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't have any contraindications. It actually has xylitol in it as well. And I love that as a natural sweetener, but also a really good immune booster too. Okay, so now in that same vein, another thing that I add in, because it's a little bit different in terms of some of the homeopathics, is it's hard to tell, but these are these little tabs that there's a little click pack. You pop them under your tongue, you hold, dissolve them. Like I usually take these before I take a shower, and then I just let them dissolve while I'm taking a shower. But the sambucol, this is an elderberry component. So it actually has homeopathic elderberry. And this can relieve a lot of these symptoms like nasal and sinus congestion, runny nose, sore throat, coughing, sneezing, chills, and fever. Now, these are also symptoms that you're going to experience if you have the cold and flu and or seasonal allergies. So those are things to consider. Now, I want to also address so UMCA is UMCKA. In the description box, you'll see the spelling down below. And Norm, you're awesome. Love listening to you and what you do. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. Well, this is my honor, you guys, and you guys give me such great things to look forward to in the morning. We have a little, we're homeschooling here at home. Both the parents are at home. We're both working. It's challenging, but this is such a nice kind of getaway. And I love focusing my day on helping all of you. That helps me too. Okay, so next up, I want to talk a little bit about sinuses and breathing. Okay, because we know this is mostly a throat, or it's mostly a sinus, bronchial, lung, breathing issue. So the respiratory system gets hit. And that's what this targets. So yeah, the other day I mentioned this little Himalayan salt inhaler. This is fantastic. Many of you know I'm a huge fan. Let's see if it focuses. We're huge fans in our household of something called halotherapy. So halotherapy is going to a salt cave or inhaling all sorts of salt enhanced air. Now, our local, and as many of you, most of these places are closed because we're limiting our exposure. And where do most people go when they're sick? They go to halotherapy or salt caves, salt rooms, salt spas. Well, I was looking at, okay, how can I bring this salt cave to us? And we are going to be remodeling bits of our house, obviously, with our kitchen. But one of the things I want to do at some point upstairs when we redo our master bathroom, I want to put in one of these units where we just inhale salt. It's like a little salt room. Until then, you can use this little inhaler. So I have to tell you, friends, this I think is one of my best finds thus far of the year. That and another product I'm going to share with you. I'm like, I found some awesome stuff. So this little inhaler, as you can see, it has little holes here. It's hard to see on YouTube, but there's these little holes. And you literally put kind of right here in your nostril. And like I just push in and breathe. And then I hold. And holy cow, you can sense, especially on this left side, and I'm having allergies, my ears are popping. I can feel it go in around the passages and then back to the throat. This has aromatherapy, and aromatherapy is powerful at alleviating some of the symptoms of nasal congestion. And the Himalayan saline water, there's Himalayan saline water, Salt, Himalayan salt is rich in minerals, and it's really good at helping to get rid of some of the mucus. Now, when we know that a lot of bronchial lung stuff often starts here, then we have the postnasal drainage, and then we get the kind of raspiness, and then we get a lot of the inflammation, we get gunkiness and cough and congestion. That, if we can eliminate these symptoms, it's going to help you feel better. You're going to be breathing better. And again, at the end of the day, as these things get really intense, your oxygen levels decrease. We want to clear the passages so you're getting air, you're getting the lifeline, oxygen into your body. So active ingredients, it has menthol, it has lavender oil, it has eucalyptus, and it has borneol. Wow. So I'm going to do this on the other side because this is my most congested side right now. I have to actually have my window open, and I'm going to be gardening later. Oh, it's seriously like it opens up everything. And I can feel it up in here. And this is a tough sinus passage to get to. So this Himalayan salt, I did check because I know the last time I linked to it, I think it was a 4-pack. They like sold out. You guys hit them up. So this brand or this company that I've linked to now on Amazon here on YouTube, as far as I know, they had full stock. So some will give you a quantity. So do check on that link. I have 2. So that's what I've got. And this, it's a small little, it's like a 0.07 fluid ounce. But honestly, I've been using this a lot. I don't foresee for me to need to switch to this for at least probably 2 or 3 more weeks. So it's huge. Because it's salt, can a person with blood pressure? Yes. Yeah. So there's something very different about inhaling salt versus consuming salt. And I should probably do a YouTube video about like the difference. Salt is not bad. It's actually not salt that's the blood pressure issue. It's sugar. So that's a totally different topic. But yeah, so natural solutions, Himalayan pink salt, definitely pick that up. Josie, the link's actually over on my YouTube channel. So we'll post, I'll do a actual post on my Instagram feed with a link. And so all these affiliate links for, right now, Instagram, until I hit 10,000 followers, which by the way, if you aren't following me, follow me on Instagram. Till I hit 10,000, I don't have the swipe up option to link you straight to things. So we're close. We're 700 to go. So I need 700 more people, 700 friends to follow us. But this is over on YouTube. Larry, the dispelling, it's in the description. So look in the description box below and you'll grab all of that. Now, here's another thing. This is a balm. It's an herbal balm, a very potent pain relieving herbal balm, 3 letters that I'm not announcing, but this also has menthol and camphor. And it has clove in it as well. And I love clove. This is something that anytime we get sinus congestion, like Gabriel as well, I am very liberal. I'll grab a lot and I will coat the entire throat, the back of the neck, the upper bronchial passages, and then I'll coat all over the lungs. And then the best thing for this, because it's so herbal, it's going to be relaxing. It's going to relieve any pain that's associated with that, like coughing, because it's a nerve. The botanical in here is a nerve blocker, very natural. The menthol and camphor will cool, so it's really great in the event that somebody's having a fever and they're feeling really hot. It totally balances that. I will then also scoop up more and I will target the sinus respiratory points, the reflexology foot points. So basically the tips of your toes and the kind of point below it where the toes meet your foot, I'd smear that all in there. And that is very powerful at also incorporating some reflexology, aromatherapy with this very potent balm. This I brought my cases home. I have this and I'm shipping out every day. Our mail carrier has been weird. Like some days she hasn't come. I don't know why. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. But this stuff is really good. It's called Level 4. You're not going to see an image on my store, but I have a link in the description box. So Really, really great. And this is a potent version. It's as good as a poultice would be without having to go through like creating a poultice, but it's so, so fantastic. The other thing that I want to mention, their aromatherapy wise, and actually, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So one of my recent finds, and you guys on Instagram just went goo over this. There's this plugin that I found. It is a brand. I'm reaching out to them because I want to work more with them. I love it when there are brands that have awesome products. But basically, this is an awesome way to diffuse aromatherapy. And if you guys see Instagram, I'm going to turn you guys over a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I don't know if you can see like right there in the corner. So you guys here on YouTube, that right there, that's my diffuser in my office here, my home studio office. Okay, so I'm just getting Instagram all set. Okay, so I love, is the balm like, no, it's not like Vicks. It's way more powerful. And then it's got that pain relieving, relaxing property to it, but it's extreme, and it's got clove, which is great. So this is a diffuser that's a really unique diffuser. And this little button, like it plugs in, it's got a USB, or it can plug in. This is the wall connection. And basically you can take your oil and you twist it in. And then when you plug it in, you push a button and it diffuses. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite finds as well. But the brand, I've got it linked down below. It's called Guru Nanda. And I am really enjoying their blends. They actually have this Breathe Easy blend. I posted a link down below. And Tiffany, I just saw you purchased one of these. So I'll get these out to you. I see that little notification from my cart. So thank you. This will go out. The level 4 will go out today to you. Okay. So Guru Nanda, love this. They have the Breathe Easy blend. I've got a link here in the description box. The other kind of blend that I like is their immunity-based blend. It's very much like a Thieves. This happens to be another brand that's kind of similar, but they have tea tree oil. It has clove, rosemary, eucalyptus. Sometimes they'll have lemon. I really, really love that. But if you have Thieves, which is a trademarked name, Thieves is fantastic for boosting the immunity and also clearing the air. And so, clove is a very powerful scour of pathogens, viral bacteria pathogens. I use clove, the powder in baking. I use it a lot. I use it in kind of my anti-parasitic protocols with patients. And it'll clear out a pathogen that might be in your body. So I love diffusing that for that reason. Now also saline. So saline sprays, this just happens to be our little Elmo-oriented kiddo one, but saline sprays are also impactful along with this Himalayan salt inhaler, the nasal inhaler. Saline is just lubricating your sinuses with saline salt, and that is very good for keeping the sinus passages open. It helps, the salt will help minimize the degree of congestion, mucus. Salt also lubricates, but salt is an antibacterial. And so it's very, very helpful. So I am Felicia with your husband having been tested. Clove would be great to diffuse. And you could even like put it on like his shirt, like whatever he's wearing. If it's, kind of a junky, day shirt that he's, at home. You could diffuse in this kind of upper quadrant and he'd be inhaling that, which is great. Diana says, so happy you're helping us. Oh, so welcome. Okay, so let's dig into the sinus stuff, because sinus congestion, sinus pain, sometimes the sinus congestion can cause headaches because of just the pressure. It can cause the fluid in the ears. You guys know I have a ton of fluid reducing protocols. You can implement all of these through, any type of viral infection. But the two that I really love, particularly, this Sinus Calm is my homeopathic blend that is just super powerful. It is very, very potent. It says, Kim, hold on. When you use saline, how do you not swallow the bad stuff? It's okay. You're not spraying so much that it's like really swallowing, but your stomach acids are going to take care of it. What I don't recommend is blowing your nose after saline spray or a neti pot, because you're going to blow the pressure is going to push that fluid into the eustachian tube. It's not a good idea. So don't blow, just kind of inhale it. You kind of do the saline. I do 2 squirts each nostril, and then I just go and pat my nose and just let it do its thing. It's not uncommon. Like, I work with a lot of post-surgical patients, like plastic surgery or nose surgeries, sometimes like deviated septums, whatnot. It's not uncommon for folks to do a saline, spray multiple times throughout the day. That fluid is still up there. And I have folks that they'll say they lean down and all of a sudden, like, it comes running out. That's totally normal. So you're not swallowing the bad stuff. Okay. Can you use Himalayan in the neti pot? Yes, you absolutely can. What I would do is the really, really fine grain, because you want to get that dissolved, or it would be an irritant. Okay. So, all right. So let's move on. Sinus Calm. These are little white tabs. It's hard to see, but these little white tabs are really good for alleviating that sinus congestion, pressure, headaches, the runny nose, the post-nasal drip. Post-nasal drip can be really irritate your sinuses. And again, everybody's kind of there are a lot of different points of communication with regard to the virus. And what we're seeing is folks are complaining about a lack of smell and a lack of taste. Some of that's inflammation related. So I just highlighted UMCA. This is an allergy and sinus. This is the same chew as the cold and flu here. So this is just the purple cold and flu. This is the allergy relief, allergy and sinuses. I always have this. Like, there are 3 weeks during this time frame that I always get really kind of the symptoms, and it's mild, but it's really annoying. And sometimes my, sinuses are leaking. You kind of have like a little drippiness going on. Sometimes it's ear popping. This will alleviate that. So this also has homeopathy that will alleviate respiratory symptoms. So it'll shorten like upper respiratory challenges. Now, upper respiratory is up here. The lower respiratory is a little bit of a different situation. Okay, you guys have sound? Okay. All right. So this is really, really powerful. This alleviates the watery, itchy eyes, the cough, congestion, sinus pressure, sneezing, runny nose. And there is one of the homeopathics actually has clinical data that it alleviates symptoms. And so this is founded, and I love it. And UMCO is so great. Okay, so now I want to go also into another product. They initially made this for kids. Now they make it for adults, and it's really great. And it uses a geranium. It's an African geranium root, which is very good at supporting sinus, nasal, and respiratory health. And it's Zarbee's. So some of you might be familiar with Zarbee's. Most of the time they have like kids products, mostly for like throat kind of clearing, congestion, and mucus. But there are these pink tabs. It has elderberry, it has bioflavonoids, and then it has the geranium extract. That's great. So that's another thing in your arsenal if you're getting a lot of that respiratory grief. Now, in the event you've got a lot of mucus, then we have to go with Mucinex. I mean, I'm not against using over-the-counter medications when we're really at that point. Mucinex is going to be one of these things that is going to relieve a lot of the chest congestion, relieve a lot of the symptoms that you're managing. And one of the things that I think is helpful to note is that you can use a lot of these different items in conjunction with each other. And so you can address different symptoms collectively But, it's not a bad idea to have these on hand because, again, we know the virus is attacking the respiratory system and causes a lot of thick congestion and mucus. But again, one of the things that's really essential is to eliminate your dairy, drink some ginger tea. So I mentioned to Felicia, whose husband has taken a test. I'm curious, Felicia, what they say when you're going to get your test results back? It's very interesting. The delays are crazy. Okay, so, going back to, we need to eliminate excess mucus. We need to be really well hydrated. Some of the points of well hydration, I love to use teas. Like this is a Gypsy Cold Care traditional medicinal tea. Love this stuff. It has elderflower spice in it, which is kind of nice. So it has cinnamon, it has rosehip. That's a good vitamin C. Power Punch, safflower petal, clove flower. Again, we're getting the clove. It has a little licorice root. It has hyssop, peppermint, yarrow. Oh, so fantastic. 3 to 5 days. Oh my gosh, friends, that's crazy. What state are you in? 3 to 5 days. I mean, that's just a long time. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. So anyway, just shocking to me. We are so ill-equipped here. So that's why videos like this are going to be really helpful for a lot of you. In the event that you're waiting on tests and you're dealing with symptoms, you can start to employ all of these resources at home. Slippery elm can be helpful. Peppermint tea, oregano oil, that's all very powerful. So this Gypsy Cold Care, I would brew this up. You've got the tea bags. What I would do is I'd brew up the water. I'd slice in about half a knot, very liberal, half a knot, kind of like your, carrot slice or whatever, or chop up ginger and chop up turmeric. Boil those up for 10 minutes, let them steep for 10. And then you can strain it or add it to your tea and, add a tea bag, add some manuka honey. You can add some drops of like oregano oil. You can use some of the the essential oils that are digestible. So you could do peppermint, even a little clove, spice you could add in. So there are a lot of different things to help you. So I want to kind of see what's going on here on our chat. So sorry, you guys. Can you put the balm under your nose? Yes, you can. I wouldn't go too high because it is pretty mentholy, and I'd stay away from your mucous membrane of your lips. Let's see, nettle tea. Nettle tea is good. These I think are probably a little bit more powerful in terms of the symptoms. Yeah, so Charlie Orange, and for all of you kind of joining the feed, welcome. Please give me a thumbs up, like this, share it. I appreciate that. YouTube is very much in censorship mode. They have been since June. They're even clamping down further. They just won a case, I think earlier in the month against a university where the university was saying they were restricting their First Amendment rights. The challenge here is that YouTube won, and it went up to, I think, the Ninth Circuit Court. And so YouTube has carte blanche to determine what they want to censor or not. They don't always have to tell us, and most of the time they don't. So that one oil that Dale had mentioned, I can't mention that. That's on the censor list. The 3-letter botanical that I love, I can't mention that either. The pain relieving, it's federally illegal, but it's legal in all the states as hemp oil. Okay, so you guys kind of get my drift here. I can't mention that anymore. I was actually, I had probably 10 or 12 videos, and in the summertime, it all happened at we were on vacation or out of town every time it happened, but I'd wake up and at 7:45 in the morning, I'd have a message in my Gmail account saying one of my videos was given a warning and with no sort of explanation. And so at the end of the day, it kept coming. I had 4 warnings. 2 warnings equals a strike. So I had 2 strikes, and you get 3 strikes, you're out. And we freaked. And so, this is a platform that allows me to educate you all. And I am very enriched by this educational process. And it's been a new kind of endeavor for my business and allows me to work digitally in a different way. And in this category here, we're at home. it's business as usual, except I'm not seeing patients, but I still have a lot of work and I do this all online. So I am very, very cognizant. They are censoring virus related content. Again, I'm not mentioning it. I'm trying to minimize it. Most of my live shows get instantly demonetized. YouTube has what they call AI, artificial intelligence. It's part of the Google brain. I mean, this is like so deep, but I'll just kind of tell you like what we're dealing with as creators. If you guys support creators and find, individuals like myself helpful, we are fighting an uphill battle. I think because of the strikes that we had, they've stopped pushing out any of our content. And so I've seen a major decrease in just viewership. Like we were getting 3 to 4 million views a month. Now we're down to like 1 million. And you don't rely on it in YouTube, but then you get ad revenue, and that's decreased a lot. So, but with YouTube particularly, they deem this sensitive. And so I appeal and have an actual person review each of my lives. Some have gotten through, they've been approved. Others have been deemed not approved. I think if I mention the word at any point, that's like just cause. It's so dumb. But whatever, that's not going to stop me from communicating this. And in fact, all those videos that I had about the herb, the 3-letter herbal botanical that's pain relieving, I moved all those before they started killing all those videos. Like they just delete them. I moved them off to Venmo, and I'm working on a course where you can gain access to that. So it's absolutely ridiculous. It's really challenging for a lot of folks in this space. And I've seen peers that they are getting videos instantly removed. They're doing lives like I am. It's nonsense, Pat. It's very, very annoying. So Janet, we all support you and understand your YouTube restrictions. So yeah, and most of you guys all know I have code words, but it is crazy. Many YouTubers are saying they have to be careful on what they say on YouTube to prevent strikes. It's so crazy. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, so very, very annoying, but that doesn't prevent me from delivering really valuable content to you. Now there's 3 things I want to mention. So you guys know I keep talking about it because I love it. I'm using it every night. But sleep is a big challenge. Everybody that I know that has had some inkling that they might have this, and even I'm seeing reports of people being interviewed, sleeping is a challenge. Like they're the fever is keeping them up, the inability to kind of, breathe well, it's keeping them up. Congestion, all of the things that usually like you need to sleep because you need to restore your energy. So depending on where you're at in the staging, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take a sleep supplement. And this is a liquid gel. It's called REM sleep. And it has things like hops and magnolia bark that lower cortisol, because when we are in a viral attack, we're at war, and our immune system's at war. That is a physiological stressor on the body. So we have to manage the cortisol so that we don't have the cortisol impact down the road. So ask Geneva, I don't know, she asked what my view is on Himalayan salt lamps. I love them. I have one here. I have one in my office. Sometimes it's right here by my desk, but the light wasn't great, so I moved it back over there. We're going to be moving. Many of you know our kitchen kind of just went kapooey, and we had demo guys come in to remove everything that was wet. So half our kitchen we don't have wood flooring, and a whole bunch of other stuff like cabinets and our counters are gone. We have wood flooring in here, and they're actually going to be replacing it. And so I can show you. Actually, I have the sample here. This is really exciting. You guys are first to see. This is going to be the wood floor that we get. So I don't know if you can see it. It's this really ugly brown. So I cleared all of our shelves because the plan was they were gonna move all our stuff into storage, and then they'd be doing our floors last week and this week, because we were supposed to have our wedding last Friday. But yeah, this is the new color. It's not beautiful. It's just like pretty blue. and it's called Edgewater Oak. And it apparently is going to withstand the dog nails, and it's waterproof. So I'm really excited, but I think it's going to go really well. Like, see the coloring. So my office is going to be gorgeous. I'm going to get a new rug that kind of is a little bit, that's a gray, darker gray. I might get a lighter gray. Oh, Robin, thank you. Is sea moss helpful? It can be. Sea moss can be helpful. Sea moss can be very supportive of your thyroid, but it wouldn't necessarily be something that would absolutely clear out some of your sinuses per se. But I do like it. Oh, Life with Jamie. Oh, you have that in your basement. Yeah, I'm really excited about the flooring. So there will be a point where I'll probably have to do some batch shooting in here just to get video content, because the idea when this all clears out, we're not bringing anybody into our house until things clear out. But when it does happen, we're going to be put into, I guess, a hotel or something for a little while. So who knows what life is going to be like, but we've got some delays. The good news is we were so crunched on time having to plan this with our wedding and everything. I literally couldn't handle it. And so like one weekend, Brian's like, let's go shopping for the cabinets. I'm like, I've got to work on welcome bags and stuff for the wedding. Like I can't mentally do that. And then everything came to a halt. And so we got our plans back from the company that's going to redo our kitchen, and we're opening up our kitchen with lighting. Like originally my plan was I wanted to just push the kitchen out structurally, and that takes a lot of space time. We were looking at like 4 or 5 months being in construction mode. So I said, I want more light and I want it to be bright. And I want to be able to film in the kitchen and do recipes for you, because right now our kitchen is horrible. It's black countertops. We can't even tell if the countertops are clean. But yeah, so that will be coming down the pike sometime. Everything's getting delayed with everything. Okay. So Mariah, I tried REM sleep. It didn't work for me. How many times did you try it? And depends on each person, depending on the cortisol, like increase for folks. Sometimes you need to be on it for a little while, like a few days, but usually 5 to 7 days, you're going to notice it. For me, it's pretty instantaneous. Elizabeth, I quit smoking cold turkey. Yay! Is there something I could take to help build my lungs back up? Of course. I'm going to write that down. Smoking sinus. You need like a lung detox almost. So I want to do a specific video on that, because I've gotten a lot of questions about smokers. Like, what do smokers do? People have asked, like, are smokers more inclined to get the virus because they're puffing and like the fingers are to the mouth, which I want to applaud you for taking your health into your own hands. And it's honestly one of, I think, the hardest addictions to stop. So bravo. Let's give her a major clap and applause. That's so fantastic. Elizabeth on our YouTube channel. We got claps over on Instagram. So that's a big deal. I'm very proud of you. Your health is so important, and you're going to be detoxing. Don't be surprised if you're coughing up, colored junk and gunk, and it's totally okay. I definitely would incorporate the Himalayan salt. In the normal event, I tell you go to a salt spa and like inhale and get that kind of moving. Felicia, this REM does have a little melatonin, but it's only let's see, what is it? 0.75 milligrams. It's really minor. Generally, I'm not a big fan of melatonin at all on its own, but it has the GABA. It's got the neurotransmitter balancers, L-tryptophan, 5-HTP. That's a precursor to serotonin. So if you're feeling a little depressed, which who isn't feeling like we're so constricted, like Brian said yesterday, he's like, I feel like everybody's in a bad mood. And I'm like, well, of course, we're all like pent up. And here in Atlanta, it's been raining, which, we haven't been outside. It cleared up yesterday for a little bit, but I was working and they were outside. And so today we're going to transform our front yard into a zoo for all of the kids in the neighborhood. Do you think smudging with white sage is beneficial? I do. I like sage for clearing. I like sage for detoxing. Sage is one of those old school remedies where they kind of clear energy, but it's also air clearing. It's air purifying, opening up our windows, UV filtration. I just ordered a new UV filter for one of my units. We have 3 air filtration units on top of our HEPA filters. Elizabeth says, you guys are so kind. Feel free to inbox me. Oh, that's great. Okay, so Instagram, we're going to pick back up. We're not done with our chat. Also for kids, which is the top supplement. Okay, so Instagram is going to come back on. I'm going to share to the story. So by the way, these live shows, they're live on Instagram only for 24 hours, but here on YouTube, they are always up and live. And let me see. Let me bring them back on. Okay, here we are. Good morning, Instagram. We're back on for part 2 of this morning's live discussion about what natural health resources, supplements, homeopathics, and botanicals can you take to support and minimize symptoms of the virus that we're all dealing with in this global pandemic. So we're just kind of at the tail end of this conversation. We'll pick back up with a lot of you who had joined us. And by the way, you can catch this replay if you're on the replay. Click down there. You're going to find you can watch the live, the first part, and it stays up for 24 hours. So hey, Kim, welcome back, everybody. Give us a like. And by the way, YouTube, please give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful. I'm curious. I'm going to answer a lot of questions here. But I did want to mention there are 2 homeopathic liquids that we have in my full script store. So that's my professional grade store. I have them linked down below. I don't have them in front of me because I don't want to take stock that like I don't need them and I don't need to have them on hand. So I want people who need them to have them. So I haven't brought them in to show you on TV or on camera, but there's one that I really love. It's professional, I think professional therapies. It's my homeopathic brand that does the lymph stem. So they have all these wonderful homeopathics, and my lymph stem, it's called lymph stimulator, lymphatic stem. It motivates the lymphatics and clears lymphatic congestion, moves the lymphatics, which tomorrow that will be our topic of conversation, you know, the lymphatic system and the virus and the impact and how to support your lymphatic system. But they have a viral immune stimulator, and there is also another version, and it is just an immune kind of stimulation. So I linked both of those in the description box. I really love those as well. And I think they are in that category of like the first kind of like astragalus as a botanical. And then, you know, even the immune shine, the kind of powdered Mitaki chaga. I like that. Okay, so Pat's going to mention the 128 watching. Please help by clicking on the thumbs up. Push up that 48 likes. It helps Dr. Melissa. Thank you. I appreciate that. And also, if you are new here on Instagram or on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and follow on Instagram. It really does support our growth, and you can catch our stories. I'm posting on stories and trying to communicate with all of you as best as I can. I have to say, this week I'm having a hard time juggling the mommy world homeschool teacher. Plus I'm making 3 meals a day, which I know it sounds not a lot, but like we're home and I'm like, I want us to stay healthy. And then plus I'm like really cognizant of like, what are we using and eating. And so it is, I'm feeling it more this week. And I'm sure a lot of you are as well. And, you know, we're in it together. This is going to be a longer haul probably than any of us really want or would choose, but it is what it is. We'll get through it. As my mantra for this, all is well in my world, all is well in your world. You know, we are sitting in a state of privilege where we have medical care, we have resources, and even if things are dipping now, they always go back up. So just look on the bright side. So I have Soraya Hart. What do you suggest for sore throat? I'm going to recommend you watch the original, the first part 1. I go through all of the items. So this is the tail end, but I think I have like probably 25 items here. So like Umka is one of my favorites. and then some of the inhalers that I recommend. So Kathy, on a journey, can you discuss treatments for fever? So again, those are, some of the symptom relievers, like UMCA is good for that. Belladonna is one of my favorite fever reducers. But again, I want to highlight, like, the fever is one of those things that's our immune response. And, unless it gets to like 103, it's not always bad to let a fever do its thing. The fever is the immune system. But for folks that have autoimmunity, that becomes a little bit of a different story. And so, those are cases that are individual with that. And Pat's looking forward to hearing about lymphatics. I rebound daily. Keep mine moving after having had a mastectomy. Oh my gosh, in November. So yeah, it is. Tomorrow's conversation is going to be really great. And I'm going to communicate with my lymphedema network. And also I'm going to connect with our friends over at Juzo, who they do all of the lymphatic wear and care. I'm actually going to turn this a little bit. That seems really bright. Sorry, you guys. Oh, it's over here. So one of the things that I'm excited, tomorrow is going to be really an impactful video as well. And let's see, Karen has a good question. Can we do too much to our immune system? So that's such a unique kind of multi-layered question. If you have autoimmunity, you don't want to trigger your immune system to attack more of your tissue, which that's common with Hashimoto's or RA, where there's an attack of your joints and soft tissue. So yes, you want to be in immune modulating mode. And that actually a highlight in the beginning of this conversation. Actually, I'm just going to open these up. It seems like it's not great. Sorry, I'm dealing with the brightness. Okay. So immune modulation is what I recommend. I think that is most helpful. And that's what I highlighted, like astragalus is a good immune modulator. The mushrooms are good immune modulators. I actually did do one of our lives from last week where I talk about Ayurveda and homeopathy. I went into some of the Ayurvedic modulators as well. Elderberry is an antioxidant. It's more immune boosting. Is dizziness a symptom of COVID-19? It might be. It depends on really your oxygen level. So if you're having lower oxygen level because it's, often a factor with your respiratory function, then possibly. So we go live. I have a question. What time will you be online? I go live every morning at 9 a.m. So you can catch me here on Instagram and YouTube every morning. I think we're on our, 13th show? Let's see. I started the day after our wedding was canceled. So the 14th. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're actually on day 11. So this is episode 11 of our daily live show. And so that's definitely every morning, 9 a.m. You can catch me. The live will be on the replay on Instagram, but on YouTube, it lives forever on YouTube. So Evelyn, we're going to be talking a lot about the lymphatics tomorrow, and I'll dig into that. There are no medications for lymphedema. So that's why we're going to dig into how to support your lymphatics and keep everything motivated and moving. Sue says it keeps me motivated to stay on top of everything I can do. Staying home can lead to some laziness. I totally get it. All right. So Anna, are all these okay if you have RA? Yeah. So I went immune modulation in the focus, especially for folks that have autoimmunity. Let's see. So Life with Janie asked, is that good for waking up for hormonal sweating? Yes, it can offset the hot sweats or the night sweats and hot flashes. It has magnesium, it has omegas, and it has glycine, which is also another good one that helps balance that. FSOI is very good. So friends, we're at about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm only talking about topics related to the virus here. So for all of you tuning in, this is just a daily live show, virus focus. So a lot of the questions that are off topic, I'm not going to get to. It's only in fairness that everybody tunes in 9 a.m. every morning to get equipped with viral information. I have over 430 videos on my YouTube channel that address thyroid disease and hormonal imbalance and FSOI and almost 50 videos about motivating your lymphatics. So I'd encourage you to check those out, because I've spent a lot of time putting together those content pieces. I hope you'll check those out, because they're meant to be a library for you. So you could go in and like search my YouTube channel for different topics. So from like interstitial cystitis to vaginal infections to sinus, ear congestion to hair loss. I mean, I cover a lot. A lot of it is based on your questions. Some of it's based on like my own health experiences and everything in between, what I see with my patients. But this conversation every day, 9 a.m., this is to empower, encourage, motivate you, help keep you healthy, help keep you safe, inform you on the latest news, the latest research as we're learning more about this virus. So that's what you can tune into every morning. That's my commitment. And that's what we're going to be doing. I am still shooting video. I am hoping that I can definitely shoot more video today. Now that it's a little nicer out. I use this as an ambient light, and it shines like over there is where I usually film. You can't really see. You can kind of see like the backdrops. Yeah, I've got some of my stuff. So here, I'll show YouTube. This is the behind the scenes. This is a little bit of the office here. So, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And every morning, it's a pleasure of mine to see each and every one of you. And so let's do this. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about lymphatics. We're going to talk about moving your lymphatics for folks with lymphedema, folks with edema, folks with autoimmunity, and everyday individuals that are really, really keen on supporting and enhancing your immune system. The two are connected. And for all of you who are new, please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, hit the little bell notification. For all of you regular viewers, YouTube, again, they're changing all their course and stuff. But if you don't get notified, like I post stories, I post community tab messages, links, coupon codes, and things like that. So hit the little bell and then click on all notifications. That actually allows you to see everything I'm posting. It'll notify you when I go live. It'll notify you when I post a new video or do like a video premiere. And we have a membership program. I'm actually going to be, I'm narrowing down a day, probably this weekend. I will be doing a live private Q&A session with our YouTube members. So individuals like Marietta and Yanni and Lois, who are on our chat, Dale as well. I'll be going live at 3:30 over the weekend, specifically for them. Smaller community, straight Q&A session. I'll record it. It'll be accessible for all the members and members only. So that's a kind of a bonus. Our membership, YouTube now offers memberships, and we posted it at $4.99. So just gives you extra access. On Instagram, if you are new, welcome. I hope you will like our Instagram. And I'm going to encourage you all, please do screenshots and share the live and tag me. Share those in your stories. That really helps me get the word out. And just tag me on it, and I'll give you a big thumbs up. Thank you, and repost you on my stories. But that's the really big goal for us. We want to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. So then I can link right up where you can watch the videos. When they go away on the live, you'll have access. So friends, let's have an awesome day. Today's Wednesday. Wednesday's the middle of the week. We're going to make it great, and look for videos and images of the zoo we're going to build. We're doing a neighborhood safari hunt. So it's going to be really, really fun. Brian is in charge, so we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be crazy. And it's rained, and so we're going to have to protect our animals, and it looks like it might even rain again. Who knows? But anyway, wish us luck. I will see each and every one of you tomorrow, 9 a.m., I hope. And again, thank you for your time. Your health and wellness is of great importance to me, and we'll keep you well and energized and energetic, enthusiastic. And I'm so grateful for all of you. So be well, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, YouTube, thanks again for tuning in. as always, I'm really grateful. This is such a fun chat. And for all of you who commented on the live chat, please go back when the video gets wrapped. Please comment on the actual video itself. I really appreciate that. That is helping push it out. And it also helps me if we get to like, I think the threshold's like 1,000 views on the video. It helps me fight that whole demonetization. So, so dumb. They can't stop us from sharing good, healthy information. So see you guys tomorrow. See you later, Pat and Yanni, Adrian, Karen, Life with Janny, Nia, Genji, Carrie Angel. Hey, Carrie. And Karen and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Love that handle. And Lisbeth, bravo to you quitting smoking. And Harot, and Marietta and Ross and Sue and Melinda Lee. And Evelyn, I'm so grateful. So I will see all of you tomorrow. Be well. Take care. See you then. Bye.